Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, Transforming HR with Dovetail HR Service Delivery Software. I'm Kevin Creedon, Sales Director with Dovetail Software, and I'm excited to explore the advanced features of the Dovetail platform with you all today. So after a quick review of today's agenda, I will pass it over to my colleague, Drew McKay. Drew is Dovetail's Senior Solutions Engineer and will be running the demo. In today's fast-paced organizations, HR teams face growing challenges beyond your normal day-to-day work, right? From managing more and more increasingly complex employee cases to improving the overall employee engagement and employee satisfaction levels. Dovetail software will help you streamline HR service delivery so that you can meet these demands head on. What sets Dovetail apart is our focus on innovation, efficiency, and client care. Innovation-wise, earlier this year, we launched our Gen AI Copilot. Our Copilot seamlessly integrates into the employee portal that Drew will be presenting. And you'll see how it can also provide instant responses to your employee questions. I also just mentioned client care as something that sets Dovetail apart. Well, we're excited to announce that for the fourth consecutive year, HR tech users have selected Dovetail as the most user-friendly help desk case management system. We've also been recognized by these same leaders as the best vendor to work with in the research that was recently completed by the Sapient Insights Group. As you may notice in this slide, we built our solution from both the HR professional standpoint as well as the employee vantage point. So again, whether you need to streamline case management, empower your employees with self-service tools, or leverage the power of AI, Dovetail offers something for every HR professional. We will begin with the Dovetail employee portal and our HR AI Copilot. From there, we'll move over and cover HR case management, as well as our employee relations case management modules, all the while showcasing our robust knowledge management capabilities throughout this demo. Finally, we will dive into our advanced analytics and reporting functionality, which, as we all realize today, is essential when you invest in any software solution. So let's get started.
This is the employee-facing side. Just want to make sure folks understand. We're going to first go through the portal. This is the self-service piece, and then we'll follow up with the case management, where case workers, case agents, depending on what you call them, would respond to cases and be able to resolve them. But what you see here is our employee portal. This is where employees can come. They can log in. It provides a very potentially full-featured experience, but you can kind of limit it as you see fit. The portal that we have here for the demo is going to be full-featured, showing you capabilities around content that you can manage and present, personalization, and the look and feel, as well as a very impatient Copilot that wants to get in on the action today. Now, first thing I just want to point out is what you see for this layout, the look and feel. This can all be configured and tailored to individual clients. Really have it make it look seamless, say, with your intranet or your branding, the look and feel that you would want, right down to the fonts. In addition, what's presented, the content, the personalization, the details that you see here, even the menus can be tailored also to specific what we call employee personas. As an example, you could have a persona for what I have here is Bill. Bill is an individual employee with no direct reports. I also have Logan. This is her page when she comes in. She is a manager in HR. You'll see that she has a slightly different landing page. I want to keep them similar, but just a different, slightly different personalization. But I also have different content that's available, and that's illustrated here with the menus that are different. If she searches for content, if she's looking for content, she'll have different access to different content that Bill wouldn't otherwise have. So you can create personas for virtually any employee groups based on language, geography, maybe a union, however you'd like to have it tailored so you can really target the appropriate groups. That said, from a content perspective, we have the ability, well, first and foremost, not to reinvent the wheel. We want to leverage things that may already exist. So if you have your existing intranet content, or if you have external portals that are something that your employees use, you want to be able to link to those. And that is certainly one portion of what content you may be directing employees back to if they came from somewhere else. But you also want to be able to have the ability to create your own content. Maybe you have a work from home policy. So here you can see we created a little work from home policy with some FAQs involved in this, but you also have content that you can take advantage of, things like features where we have feedback mechanisms where you can rate and enter feedback around content so you can understand if content is meaningful, if it's valuable to the employees, if it's up to date. The other element that you'll see periodically through the portal is these related items. So we're always trying to surface related content, making sure that it's easy for employees to find the content that they need, making sure that they can get information and answers to their questions easily without having to submit a case, without having to tie up, say, HR agents and caseworkers who would be otherwise working on something that's really more serious, questions that really take advantage, their experience is really geared for. Now, that said, not every question is going to be able to be addressed through just informational. There are always going to be questions, and that's where we can leverage the portal to be an interface for entering cases. So here we might be able to send a case in, and you see if we click on our general questions, we have the ability to enter in any sort of case, put in a description of it. Maybe someone's looking for 401k information. And you'll see as they start typing, again, that related item still comes to bear so that if they just hadn't looked very carefully or hadn't just come straight in to enter the question, they might click on something that would provide, say, this FAQ on different information around the 401k plan. Hopefully, if that's something that answers their immediate question, saving a case from being created, preventing HR from having to be involved in something that they otherwise might have been easily able to answer themselves. Now, that said, not every question would be something they want to do. You might have your top 10 list, your top 20 questions that come up periodically over and over. Those are great ones to leverage the fact that we have menus here, so you can specify specific questions based on the categories that they come into. Here's a key one where it's very specific, but employee wants to make a change to their withholdings. Well, here, because it's a specific question and I know certain things about that type of question, I've already populated it with the question. I've already categorized it. And I've already added some details in the note itself as a template. This allows me to further help them to answer the right questions, make sure they provide the right information, and in general, just eliminate those second and third touches that you might otherwise have to go out to an employee for to get all the information that you need. I'm going to try and bring all this together because we kind of siloed things a little bit, but let's just show you how we can bring this information together. So if I go over to our personalized info, and let's say an employee wants to make a vacation request. Here you can see it comes into a landing page. We're able to surface information about the employee. We'll talk a little bit about that, but if we have information available as part of their profile, we can surface that. We can have those FAQ items to fill in details of common questions, and then we can have buttons that could take them through to various questions, various capabilities, or just the ability to submit a case if they need to. So they could ask a question, or we can leverage deep links so that they can go through to other systems. Again, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. If this is all the information they need and they want to put in that request, well, we could have them go bounce over to another system. In this case, it's going to be taking them to Workday, which might be their system of record for putting in their PTO requests. And you can see we just deep linked right into that system. Of course, we can also deep link into other systems from to Dovetail by the same mechanism. So if they had a question here, maybe they don't know how to put in their half-day requests based on this. If they click this, they're not going to be hitting, say, a back button. They're actually going to be putting in a new request. It's got a different category, different question, and they can put in their details about that half day. Once they submit a question, you'll see what the case interface looks like. It's a nice place to go to be able to add their information. They can add follow-up notes. They can upload files to the case. They can even close the case if they were to find under that related items, the information that they were looking for and resolve it themselves. And this becomes essentially a nice place for them to go, to look, to interface for their cases. They can go here, see all their open or previously closed cases. They can have conversations with case managers through this portal. Here you can see Annie has been engaged with Bill about some HSA and FSA questions in a back and forth exchange. So it just becomes a really nice interface for employees to be able to get engaged and reach out to HR through. Now, as we said, this isn't the only interface. We do have the ability to leverage the chat here. So there is a full chat option. We have both live chat, where they can be transferred to a live agent, or our new AI chat feature, which is called HR Copilot, not to be confused with Microsoft's Copilot, by the way. And I'm going to just take you through some examples of how we've leveraged Copilot in our environment and how this can be used. And we will take you through a quick little exercise here in another demo system. Here it's going to show you sort of a basic sort of recreate what I did before with the PTO request, where we can have it just take employees to different places in the portal without having to navigate themselves. If they have a general question, it will know what content exists out there, be able to take you to something like a benefits case page where it can find the information that they might be otherwise not have seen. In this next example, it's going to show them payslip. Again, linking to another system, it can just provide the link so they don't have to leave the interface, but they can click there and go to the interface themselves if they so choose. This is another great example, which we didn't show you in the portal before, but a verification letter. So if you have message or letter templates, documents that you use regularly that's got a set form like a verification letter here, where we're just updating the information on that template, we can leverage it for something like a verification letter, allow employees to print that themselves and save HR some time that they'd otherwise have to go and just recreate that. Now in this one, you see an employee entering in that they just feel sick. Maybe they're a new employee, they don't know sort of the policy or who to contact. In this case, it knows who the employee is, knows who their manager is, and what the policy is, and it's able to essentially say, we can provide that in contact for you. You have to notify your manager. Would you like us to do that? And it's also going to show that once she clicks yes and affirms that, it can then engage through integration to send that text message right to the manager itself. So it's showing leveraging the capabilities of the AI for both integration and to understand the context of the question and sort of the details around that. And this is another one where someone's describing a situation and the system is able to interpret that and understand what are the scenarios that we have available in the system. And it gives her the options, or him the options to select. Maybe he wants to report a workplace injury in this case. And here you can see where it comes to one of those case completion forms. It's already kind of set up. It's got some specific information in it, again, that they could just go ahead and then follow up and submit that case. Now we're going to talk about some of the language capabilities and its ability to understand content and summarize it. And that's a really powerful feature when it comes to things like policies, for example, where here we have a nice succinct summary of this policy, rather than having to go to a page, read it, understand if it's really relevant to their needs. This one's perhaps even more powerful, where it's saying, I'm just trying to find guidance on my career, and it knows that there's a guidance page and it provides that succinct summary. And here you can see what it is summarizing, what it would otherwise be on the employee to have to do and understand before they'd be able to see if that was relevant. So that's just a glimpse of some of the capabilities that we have there. I wanted to just kind of get people a little bit up to speed on what the potential is around that. There's other capabilities that it certainly can do. We can extend the integration, and we can also even leverage it to other mechanisms such as MS Teams. If you use Teams at your organization, we can have it directly integrated in there so that you could leverage it through Teams, not even having to go into the employee portal.